Hello everyone, and welcome to our Toastmasters monthly English meeting. My name is Răzvan Bakash, and this is the last meeting that I will be president for Toastmasters Cluj for some time. So please a big round of applause for me. Thank you, I appreciate you too. So because this is the last meeting that I'm going to do for a while now, I want to do everything almost by the book. So I want to read the club submission to make sure I don't miss any words. Here at Toastmasters, we provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Now, I am curious, are there people here in the room who attend a Toastmasters meeting for the first time? Would you like to share with us your name and how you find about us? If you want to. Yes, please.
Hi, my name is Diana, sorry. It's from work. Nobody can pronounce my name properly, so Silvio is my husband. I found out about you from him. Or actually, I found out about you from some friends 10 years ago, but Silvio attended last week, and I came to support him today. If he chooses to participate, that is. No pressure. That's it. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, and thank you, Silvio, for bringing her here. I saw some hands there. Yes, please.
Hi, my name is Doro. I heard about Toastmasters from Reddit and also from my girlfriend. I wanted to learn more about public speaking and I wanted to enjoy it.
That's really nice. This is the perfect place to be, so thank you and welcome. And I saw a hand there. Yes.
Hi, my name is Teofil. You can call me Teo. I'm also interested in public speaking and personal development. And I heard from Toastmasters from a friend.
We thank your friend and welcome. Is there someone else? Did I miss someone? Okay, so you will see how we develop these public speaking and leadership skills in the following evening. We develop public speaking skills by coming here in front and having speeches that we prepared before coming to the meeting at our home. And we develop our leadership skills by organizing this meeting that you're going to see unfold in front of you tonight. So, because every meeting is special and it has its own unique host, let's welcome with a big round of applause today's host, Alex Roman.
Hello everybody and welcome to our English Toastmasters meeting. Today I am your host and I'm extremely excited about this opportunity because it's my first time into this role. Now, the theme of the night is inspired by the great Romanian proverb, a friend in need is a friend indeed. Now, today I would like to explore this meaning of friendship and what it truly means to be a real friend, from my own perspective, of course. Can anybody be a friend? Do you have any responsibilities if you are somebody else's friend? As a Toastmaster, I intend to answer these questions tonight. Now, I would like to start my role by asking you a question, and the question is the following. What's the most important trait of a great friendship? And I want 2 answers from my right side and 2 answers from my left side. Please.
Honesty and empathy.
Great. From here.
Trust.
Okay. One more. Yes, great answers. My favorite trait is loyalty as well. Loyalty is so important because without it, I believe there is no friendship, not a real one. And how do you know if somebody is somebody will be there, if your friend will be there when you need him? Sometimes you can read people from the beginning, but a lot of times they know how to hide their intentions. As I like to say it, they are snakes. In this case, it's important to spend a little bit of time with them, as time passes by, you will see who they truly are, traveling with them, seeing the way they behave, the way they act, the way they think. You will get to know them better, and the fact is that nothing beats time. So time will reveal their true character. If they are snakes, make sure you don't get bitten. I truly believe that being a great friend requires the same qualities as being a great human being. I mean, there's nothing complicated. A few aspects like being respectful to your elders, offering your help, not expecting stuff in return, and also telling the truth even if you might lose your friend. Sure, it's important the way you do it. When it comes to offering your help, it's important to take a step back and not make it your main purpose, right? Because a lot of times people that offer their help too much are the ones that need help. I was one of those, so I know what I'm talking about. It's also important to know that not everybody will appreciate your help, and that's okay. Another aspect is that it's important to know that your friend should ask for help when he goes through difficult times. So, because of that, it's important to be there when he needs it. And as I said, you don't want to maybe call him 3 times a day and offer your help because he might not appreciate it. So, simple things, right? There are quite a few places where we can form great friendships. One of them could be this place, Toastmasters. Pretty much we have here the same mission. Everybody is here to improve their public speaking skills. Another great place could be the army, right? The people are there, the people that are there are on the same mission, the same path. They are going through difficult times, and I truly believe that hard times bring people together. And they unite and they overcome those obstacles that are in front of them. Another place where you can where we can form friendships and where I form a few friendships is martial arts gyms. When I think about loyalty, I remember these fighters from southern Russia. There is a republic called Dagestan. As a republic, before I go on to tell you what I was truly impressed in their case, I would like to let you know a few aspects about that region. So, throughout history, it was extremely difficult there to live there. Wars, crime, terrorism, high unemployment, pretty much everything you would come up, they probably already been through. Now, what I like about these fighters is that they are so focused, so driven, everybody's laser focused, everybody's going in the same direction, and yeah, that's impressive. For example, you might know this guy. His name is Habib Nurmagomedov. What I liked so much about him is that he values his group of friends so much that he doesn't care about anything meaning money, fame, truly nothing else. Even though he was a former world champion, he remained very close to the people that helped him to reach the peak, and also to his training partners. Now, going forward, I would like to mention the fact that a few examples from his life that I was really impressed by. For example, whenever he's traveling by car, he never stays in the front seat. When he was alive, his father used to stay in the front seat. Now it's his older brother, his coach, his mother, or whoever is older than him when he's traveling by car. Another great example would be the fact that he also trained for a little bit of time in the United States, and one of his former coaches was a Mexican. He said at some point that those fighters, those Russians, have never disrespected him. That's how much they respect the elders. What I truly like about them is that they don't do this, right? They put their head down and work like maniacs, and that's truly impressive. Another great example would be the fact that in 2022 he was inducted in the Hall of Fame. He was asked in the media before his commemorative speech who should be in the Hall of Fame, but is not already a member. And guess who he chose? His coach. Yeah, no surprise. For example, one time when his coach went to train them in Russia, he asked him where he was sleeping, and he showed his coach a bed, a smaller one, a very modest one, nothing crazy, but in the same room there was a bigger bed that was for his older brother, Shamil, even though his older brother is not well known. Another great example would be the fact that when he made his first $1,000 from fighting, he asked his father if he could spend that money. His father agreed because he wanted to see what he was going to spend it on. And he didn't buy anything for himself, he bought training gear for everybody in the gym. And I was truly impressed by that. I mean, you cannot appreciate that. And his loyalty to his tribe is unmatched. And I really respect that. Now, I also have a few friends in this room, and one of them is the general evaluator, and he is waiting for me impatiently. Before he comes onto the stage, it's important to let you know that we have a question of the night that I asked our members before this meeting. The question is, when you think about friendships, what's the first thing that comes into your mind? Funnily enough, it looks like Razvan and me think alike sometimes, because his answer was loyalty as well. Now he is ready to take the stage and present his evaluation team. In a big round of applause, Razvan Varga.
Thank you very much, Alex. Hello, everyone, once again. So, my role as a general evaluator is to be the evaluator of evaluations. I want to mention this because I saw in the past that were in a lot of meetings, people mention that the general evaluator is the evaluator of evaluators. That's wrong. We don't evaluate the person that's here in front. We evaluate the prestation.
Performance.
The performance of the person here in front. So my job here is to see what happens and shouldn't happen, and what doesn't happen and should happen. Now, in this meeting, you will see three types of evaluators, and you are going to meet them throughout the meeting. The first ones are the technical evaluators. Then we have the speech evaluators, which obviously evaluate the speeches that we're going to have here in front today. And the third ones are you guys. After every speech, we are going to have 1 minute for feedback, and I encourage you to leave one thing that you liked about the speech, really important, the speech, not the person here in front, and one thing that you think they can improve. You will see 1 minute goes out really fast, and I think one improvement and one positive thing is more than enough. So enough with the chit chat. I want you guys to meet my team of technical evaluators. So the first here in line is our grammarian, Julia. She answered to the question of the evening, which is, when you think about friendship, what is the first word that comes into your mind? She said, hugs. So with a big round of applause, let's welcome Julia.
I am so happy that Alex, our Toastmaster today, called us friends, because that is exactly what I'm going to be today as the grammarian. I'm going to be the friend that gets excited about how creative you are with your words. I will be the friend that gets excited about how you use the English language to amplify your message. I will be the friend that will listen to you not with ego, trying to find faults and errors in your speech, but with heart, with curiosity, to be able to offer feedback that hopefully will make you an even better speaker in the future. And I realized this today actually. Many of us don't have that kind of friend in our lives. I sure did it. But I found them here at Toastmasters. And to be honest, I wasn't that egoless friend for my people either in my life. But I became one thanks to Toastmasters. And that is the benefit of showing up here on this stage as often as possible, taking on roles like the grammarian and learning how to listen without ego and with curiosity. Now, to be able to learn that, you gotta be steadfast in your practice. And that is why steadfast is the word that I chose for this evening. You can see it here in front of you, and here hanging off the table. It's gonna wait for you when you are here on the stage, because I very much encourage you to use it in your speeches, and especially at the impromptu speeches section. You'll hear more about that soon. Steadfast is an adjective, and it means firmly loyal and unwavering in your commitment. Just like I hope all of you are when it comes to your dreams, your wishes, and your development. I wish you all an evening with electrifying speeches and friendly evaluations, and we will see each other in the evaluation section when I will present the report. Thank you.
Thank you, Julia. Our next technical evaluator of the evening is our typer, Lucian Botelho. He answered to the question of the evening, laughing together and good times. So let's welcome with a big round of applause, Lucian Botelho.
Thank you, Razvan. Tonight I will be your time. I will be your friend that helps you with your time management. So you can present your speech and you don't have to worry too much about checking time every 5 seconds, because I will be there in the front and I'm going to use these 3 cards to let you know how you're doing. I'm going to use this green card, and your minimum allocated time has passed, so everything is good so far. I'm going to use this yellow card when the end of your allocated time is approaching, so you have some time to prepare your conclusion and to end your speech or evaluation. And the red card when the allocated time has passed and you finish your speech or evaluation, because after the red card is shown, you have, after 40 seconds have passed, the Toastmaster will come on stage and will push you up. In a friendly manner. So, for prepared speeches, every speaker has 7 minutes. I will show the green card when you have 2 minutes remaining, yellow card 1 minute remaining, red card when your time is up. For impromptu speeches, A counter and timer, they have Each of them have 2 minutes allocated. I will show you green card at 1 minute, yellow card at 1 minute and a half, red card at 2 minutes. Speech operator, each one has 3 minutes allocated. I will show the green card at 2 minutes, yellow card at 2 minutes and 40, red card at 3 minutes, when we find out. General operator, grammarian, each one has 5 minutes allocated. I will show the green card at 3 minutes, yellow at 4, and red at 5 when time is up. I have taken this role to help myself with my time management skills and also help you and have a well-organized meeting. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Lucian. The last but not least, technical evaluator is a special role here in Toastmasters, our A counter. To tell us more about that, before I invite him on stage, his answer to the question of the evening is belonging. Just a reminder, the question of the evening is, when you think about friendship, what is the first word that comes to your mind? And Alexandru Cezar said belonging. So, with a big round of applause, let's welcome Alexandru Cezar.
Speaking is our main communication method. And to speak articulately means avoiding unnecessary sounds that may wither our speeches. Thus, focusing on the package increases the delivery value. The benefit of this role is that you become more aware of sounds like other unnecessary interjections or longer pauses. So you can learn to avoid them. I will come back at the end of the evaluation section to present my report and tell you what sounds withered your and tainted your speeches and also how. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. Now, before I invite back the host of the meeting, there are a few rules that I would like to mention. So, first of all, if you need to leave the room, or if you left the room and you want to come back inside, please do it while people are applauding. Because that way you don't interrupt anyone else. Because you may have noticed that that door has a really weird sound, and people usually, when the door opens, they go like. So, if people are applauding, no one hears the door, and we are all having a smooth meeting. The second one is, I will allow 10 seconds for everyone so that they can put their phones on silent. In case you did not understand, please put your phones on silent. And the third one is a special timing rule that we have. Lucian also said it, but I would like to also mention it. When time passes 30 seconds over the time limit, he will raise the red card higher, and then the person that's supposed to come on stage will get up, come here, and push out the person who is on stage in a friendly manner, of course, as Lucian said. So, this being said, I wish you all a nice evening. Me and my team are going to meet with you in the later sections of the evening. So, let's welcome with big energy Alex Roman.
It's so great when you have a team of strong friends, because without them, there's no Toastmasters meeting. Besides the story that I just shared with you about him and his tribe of warriors, I would like to share with you a personal one. For example, our former member Nikita moved recently to Moravia. In the last year, I developed with him a close friendship. Because he moved to Oradea, he had to come back to Cluj a few times because he couldn't move all his stuff once. So I told him, if you need to come to my place, the more than welcome, and he did. At some point, no, I know that he loves scrambled eggs, and here we are, eating 20, an omelette of 20 eggs. He usually eats 10. He's the terror of eggs, so to speak. So because I cooked 10 for him, I was like, there's no way I'm not going to waste 10 for me as well. This being said, what I truly appreciated about him is that he worked until 1 a.m. and then he went to sleep right away. No TikTok, no Instagram, nothing. So I had to take some notes, and that's what I did. Next, we have speaking about being welcomed. Now you're all invited to discover the way our Toastmasters meeting is structured. It has 3 major parts. First of all, the prepared speeches, the second part, the impromptu speeches, and the third part, the evaluation section where basically every speaker that came on the stage will receive feedback. The prepared speeches section is approaching fastly, therefore it's time to hear from the first speech evaluator, George Blaga. He will tell us about dance objectives and what he wants to accomplish during his speech. Without further ado, I will invite George Blaga to stand up and share that with us. George, please.
The first speaker of tonight is on the pathway presentation mastery level 2. His main objectives are to clarify and define what does it mean mentoring from a Toastmasters view, and to share with us in a speech 1 or 2 aspects from his previous experience as a prodigy.
Thank you, Georgia. It's good to know. This being said, Dan is ready to come and take over this stage. So therefore, a ship without a mast, Dan Florian.
There comes a time in one's life when they have to leave the safety of the harbor and venture out into the open ocean. I still remember the day when I did that. I was young, I only had my ship, my enthusiasm, and a map. That map was the map towards a treasure island. Unfortunately, quickly after I left the harbor, I was beset by storms. 1 storm, 2 storms, then countless more storms before I arrived at the island. I discovered quickly that my ship was not made to handle those waters. But of course, my ship was damaged, but never sunk. I arrived at the destination, I opened the chest, and the treasure was not what I really wanted. Of course, for some other sailors, it was perfect. It was the promised land. But for me, it was not a treasure. I realized that I had to correct the course. So what I did was I grabbed my helm and I tried to correct the course. Unfortunately, the ship was not listening to me. Well, it was still operational, right? I had a sail, the wind was blowing in my sail, but I could not correct the course. I was at the mercy of the waves. Until I met a fellow sailor. He was a bit more experienced than me. He approached me and in a very friendly manner told me, well, it seems that your ship may not be suited for this particular task. But why would you come to my archipelago where the waters are a bit different, the waves are nicer, And there, I think you will find that they are better for you. Well, I listened to him, I followed, and when I arrived at the archipelago, of course, I loved the smell of the water. I loved the way in which the waves were breaking upon my hull. Still, I could not correct the course. I could not steer the ship. And then that same man came to me and said, well, let me help you. This ship is very good for sailing here, but have you noticed that you do not have a mast? Of course, my mind was blown, because of course, the wind was blowing in my direction. Well, it was blowing from behind my direction, of course. My ship was good for sailing there, but there was nothing connecting them. That one piece, that tall mast standing, linking the sail to the ship, it did not exist. Perhaps I had lost it in the storm. That was the moment when that friend became a mentor as well. Unfortunately, at this moment, the metaphor breaks down. Allow me to break the fourth wall. Allow me to speak a bit about my time being a prodigy. Because you see, a mentor is a friend. He is the one breaking down your walls, the one allowing you to step outside and look at you in a different light, in a different perspective, if you will. That is what my mentor did for me. He opened my ways. He showed me better waters. He showed me an archipelago full of islands, full of treasure that I could readily explore, that I had a ship capable of sailing there. I said that the metaphor is breaking down, and I mean it, because flexibility is what I learned. Because my mentor was never someone like me. Because after I was shipwrecked on that initial island, I was desperate. I was discouraged. I thought that I would never, ever be able to correct my course. I did not think that there was a way in which to approach a different treasure island. Because my enthusiasm was gone, my ship was damaged, and my map was useless. You see, that is what a mentor does. He's the one that comes from outside, takes a look at you and says, don't you think that you're missing a piece? Don't you think that, well, while you have all the right ingredients, a ship, the good waters, a sail, good winds, you may still be missing something to tie them all together, something to form a great, great ship used for a great journey. So, what is a mentor? A friend? Someone to teach you. Most importantly, he's someone who in your darkest hour is there to show you that the sun is shining behind all of those storm clouds. And that's it. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Dan. Now we are going to give him some feedback on Slid.do and the password for that is TMCJ. Slid.do, password TMCJ. I will ask the timer to have 1 minute. Great. I hope you managed to give Dan some feedback. His answer to the question of the night was camaraderie. We have one more prepared speech for tonight, and Martin is going to delight us in the next moments. Before he does, his evaluator will share with us his objectives and what he wants, what he's trying to succeed at. Adi, please.
Well, Martin is continuing his journey on visionary communication path. Today he tackles a more advanced project. He wants to create effective visual aids. He can use up to 3 visual aids. To clarify, visual aids can be anything from PowerPoint slides, flip chart, or whiteboard to using objects as prompts. Martin's objectives are to select and use visual aids effectively. That means that he has a message for us today, and any visual aids he uses needs to support that message. Let's see what Martin's prepared for us today.
Well, that's definitely worth knowing. Thank you, Adi. Now Martin's time to shine. Now it's Martin's time to shine onto this stage. Bravery and the Big Bang, Martin Furde.
Thank you, Alex. Bravery and the Big Bang. Do you think there is any connection between these two concepts? Of course, besides the fact that they both start with the letter B. It's not a straightforward answer, I admit. But let's explore together and maybe we will find a connection between these two concepts. You see, as a layman, I was always interested in both fields of astronomy and human psychology, human nature. The questions of how things around us exist, how the universe came to be, and what happened right after the Big Bang, the birth of the universe, feel like truly fascinating topics. According to the current scientific consensus, right after the universe was born, there was a period of rapid, very fast expansion. And that expansion defined how later the universe developed. In the seconds, right in the milliseconds after the universe was born, there was this explosion, this powerful expansion. And this expansion that shaped how our world looks today. Now, this is mind-boggling. We can say it's even incomprehensible. But what was not so mind-boggling, it really came natural to me, is to draw a parallel between the development phase of the universe and the development phase of the human life. The universe is born. We are born. The universe goes through a phase of rapid expansion. Human life goes through a similar phase of rapid expansion. Let's think about it. We are born and we are totally powerless. We can move, we can talk, we can do the most basic things to survive. We need help, outside help, even if it's just to feed ourselves. But of course, as we grow, we learn all those things. We learn to walk, to run, to swim, to climb on things. We learn to communicate with people, to establish friendships. We experience our first love. experience our first summer job. We learn to use all kinds of tools and gadgets, computers, iPhones. We learn to drive cars. Of course, then we move away from home. We get employed, and then we finally create our truly independent existence. Then we can go wherever we want. We can do whatever we want. We can buy whatever we want. Of course, to the extent of our financial situation. The sphere of our life expands exponentially compared to where we started as newborn babies. What does the universe do during this time? Well, the universe just continues to expand exponentially, well, not exponentially, but at an ever accelerating pace. But our life does not. Our life stops expanding. And in many cases, it starts to shrink. And I'm not talking about losing some physical and mental capabilities due to old age and the limits that they have on our possibilities. No, I'm talking about something that happens much earlier and it's much more insidious. Our life starts to shrink because there is pressure coming from the outside, coming from expectations of ourselves. And we are too damn afraid to oppose and resist those expectations. And then what happens? Maybe you have a boss and your boss asks you to do unpaid overtime regularly and you didn't protest. Your life shrinks. Or you enter a new relationship and your significant other tells you you cannot go anymore out with your buddies to drink and party at night. You accept it and your life shrinks. Or maybe you listen to your parents urging you to just get a stable job. You get that job, it's stable, it's boring, it's soulless. And in the meantime, you stop working on your dreams that you are so passionate about. And your life shrinks. We crave to these pressures and we give up something that's important to us and our lives shrink. But is that how things are supposed to be? Maybe there can be, if there could be another way to resist this pressure and to keep our life expanding. Well, children somehow manage to do it. And not because they are young. It's because they are bold, they are fearless, they are brave. So you know what you have to do. Learn bravery from these children. Resist that pressure, oppose it, and stay true to yourself, whoever you truly are. In doing so, your reward will be a life, a magnificent life that ever expands possibilities well into your old age. A life that starts to resemble the universe itself. Thank you.
Congratulations, Martin. His answer to the question of the night was connection. Now we are going to give him some feedback as well. For that, you already know what you have to do. Please go on slate.org and the password TMCJ in case you still need it. I'm going to ask the timer to tell me how to read it. much. I hope you managed to give Martin some feedback as well. Now we want to give you the opportunity to come on the stage and see what it's like to talk in front of us. The improvised speeches section is approaching quickly. Therefore, Adrian Sălășan, the moderator of this section, is ready to come onto the stage. His answer to the question of the night, however, was superb. In a big round of applause, Adrian Sălășan.
Good to see everyone. Now, it's great to be steadfast in your preparation and to come in front and have really great prepared speeches about the subject you're an expert in or about the subject you're passionate about. However, many times life is not like this. Maybe in a group meeting at work, maybe at a friend's wedding, maybe in an argument with your family members, you will be put in positions where you are not prepared, where you need to improvise. And this section, the impromptu speeches section, is an opportunity to practice for those life skills necessary to be prepared for the kind of scenarios that I just described. The rules of this section are that you will come here in front, you will have 2 minutes speeches. We aim to have 2 minute speeches, and the timer here will help you to achieve that goal by showing you a green card when you have 1 minute left, and then a yellow card when you have 30 seconds left, and then finally a red card when you should prepare for your conclusion, and hopefully in the next 10 to 15 seconds end with a powerful statement, question, whatever you want. The subjects will be based on the topic for tonight's meeting. You know, the subjects are thoughts about friendship, basically one-liners that you will have to listen. I will give you the one-liners, and you will have to somehow integrate those thoughts into a speech, a personal experience, whatever, a story, whatever you like. If you don't have the inspiration, let's say, to be really strict about talking about that subject, just talk about something related to friendship in general, and this will still be useful. So we will have, I think, a 5-minute break. During that break, I will be right at the back of the room. Please come and volunteer. Whoever wants to train themselves in this exercise. If there's not enough volunteers, maybe I'll come in front and point at people, and then you'll have to come on the spot. So, 5 minutes break, and please volunteer. Thank you very much. I know the applause wasn't for me, but... So, we have a few volunteers. Like I said, before the break, we have like short one-liners about the subject of friendship. I just found them on the internet. It's not really very philosophical. And I will tell you that subject once. I will tell the rule the second time so that everybody is clear on what the subject is. And then you will have like 10 seconds to think about it, figure out what you're going to talk about, and then speak to us hopefully for 90 to 120 seconds, right? So 1.5 minutes, roughly. And our friend the timer will help you. So, let's start with Silvio. So, pick a number from 1 to 5, 1 to 15, sorry, and I'll give you a solid, say 14, okay, at the back of the list. So, the one-liner or the quote that you're gonna try to build your speech around is, Shared joy is double joy, shared sorrow is half a sorrow. So joy, yeah, joy, sorrow is sadness. So shared joy is double joy, twice the joy, right? And shared sorrow is half the sorrow. So good luck. 10, 15 seconds you can think about things and then stop.
I'm ready. Okay. So there is, I do believe there is an interesting quote, and I strongly believe that essentially we are social animals, and I think this is what allows us to work together towards a better, or towards a better future, whether it's good or bad. I can already imagine sort of like a group of hunter-gatherers sitting around the campfire, sharing their stories, or perhaps thinking about what they may need to hunt in the following day. Their hopes that maybe they may find a deer somewhere or something of that sort. Or maybe they'll reminisce about their clan mate, tribe mate that they may have lost a few days ago while trying to hunt another deer. Maybe they encountered perhaps a saber-toothed lion along their path that killed their friends that they may have grown up with during their relatively short life. And I can imagine them building their steadfast relationships to one another when each and every day is essentially a life and death situation. I can imagine also that, essentially, together they share much more of their joy than being alone. I believe that essentially a human that is alone will probably essentially die alone and much quicker than what we expect. And I can only imagine this, and finally that yes, at least talking and reminiscing about their dead friends may have at least half their sorrows and may push them to the following day, with the hopes that maybe they'll live maybe one extra day. Apologies if this monologue was maybe a bit more on the sad side. But I hope it is at least there's a tinge of hope in it. Thank you.
Thank you, Silvio. So, have you noticed that Silvio used the word of today, steadfast, during his speech, when he told us that we are social animals and that we are hunter-gatherers who just happen to study the universe lately, but we evolved somewhat from that stage. Okay, the second speaker for tonight will be Paula. That's exactly what they want. She said she wants to be later. She said it is good enough.
It's fine.
Okay, so 115 without 14 because our friend just used that number. 6. Okay, this is a short and sweet one. The best mirror is an old friend. The best mirror is an old friend. You have like 15, 20 seconds to think about. Connect that. Some sort.
Thank you.
Friendship. I believe we all feel that steadfast desire to feel like we belong, to feel connection, to feel like we jointly do something. And frankly, I have struggled sometimes with feeling that, because I believe true friendship is really hard to achieve, to actually feel like you have someone to rely on whenever you need. However, I had a friend in high school that I got really well along with. He was my desk mate. But life drove us apart because after I have finished high school, I came to Cluj, and he went to Bucharest. And as life passed, we started talking less and less. We made new friends here, or at least we tried making new relationships here. And we finally reconnected after 3 years. I went to Bucharest and I had a chance to meet with him and have a good talk after so much time when we were apart. And I found myself really proud to see that even though we haven't talked in such a long time, we reconnected actually, instantly. We stood there talking for 6 hours and none of us noticed how fast the time passed. It was wonderful. It was like I regained a piece of myself that I had lost in that time. Because with new people, I feel like you gain new parts of yourself. And sometimes, I don't know how to put this, but I feel like people bring different parts of you every single time. And sometimes to be back to your old self, you need to reconnect with all people in your life. And that's why I also believe that a true mirror is an old friend, as the saying goes. Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations, Paula. Forgot we are at an English Toastmasters meeting for a second there. Thank you especially for your courage, because you shared something deeply personal, and I think this takes courage. And I identified with that feeling of trying to keep that connection going, even if we grow apart geographically sometimes. Cool. The first speaker for tonight will be Silviu. I apologize. I put your name twice. Make sure your speech is that. Actually, I copied your name and put you first after she said that she's going to be later. Yes, Silviu. So the third name for tonight will be Petronel. So, like before, choose number between 1 and 15 without 14 and 16. 3. Cool. 3. This is a slightly longer one. Everybody pays attention. Yeah, you can change it. No, it's good. Okay. 3. Good friends are like stars. You don't always see them, but you know they're always there. So, good friends are like stars. You don't always see them because maybe they moved to Bucharest or something, right? But you always know they're there. You can think about things like this.
So having friends in this world is a privilege. We need friends in order to grow and to get better. And having a friend who is a cheerleader and who sees the best in you, it's a privilege. Having a steadfast friend will make you grow even further in life and to things that you don't even think about. I really enjoy going out with my friends and even telling them my story and what my sadness and making and they are really cheerleader for me and they see the best in me and the person who sees the best in me makes me even feel better and that would be all.
we're applauding for you. Enjoy it. Cool. Thank you for your story. Yes, it's good to have cheerleaders, and yeah, our mom usually is our number one cheerleader, but then it's useful to also have friends for that purpose. Have you noticed that all three of our speakers used the word of the evening? This is really rare. Good job so far. So, our next speaker will be Doru. Let's welcome him. Welcome, Doru. Congrats on your courage. Choose a number. 7. Let's see. Easy, good news that. So, a real friend makes your problems their problems and makes your joys their joys. Okay, so a real or good friend makes your problems their problems and makes your joys their joys. I have 20 seconds to figure things out and then talk later.
So coming here made me realize how much you need friends, how much you need to be together with other people. I came here with my friend Theo for the first time trying something new, and he's my friend since I was in junior school, and he's been a steadfast friend of mine for a long time. Because of that, I also think that people should focus on becoming better friends themselves. Not just expecting other people to be there when they need, but also be there when it counts. That's the definition of loyalty. So because of that, I think having a true friend means going to places where you aren't necessarily comfortable. It's going to places where you have fun, and it's doing and having activities that you like to do. And because of that, I think a friend is a person who is there when it counts, but also when he is needed, he's there.
Cool, thank you very much. Doru has been a steadfast friend for our next speaker, as we found out earlier. So our next speaker is Doru's friend, Theo. Big round of applause. So let's see what number you like.
Number 10.
Number 10. Cool. Okay, so I quite agree with this one. True friends are those rare people who ask you how you are and then wait to hear the answer. So, true friends are those rare people who ask you how you are and then wait to actually hear the answer. 20 seconds to figure things out and then speak to our friends here.
Okay. So often, a lot of people pretend to be our friends. That means they care, only to act superficially, and not really meaning to connect or they don't really seek a deep relationship with us. This can happen anywhere basically. But real friends are the ones that ask us how our day was, they ask us how we are, they often notice that without even bringing up the question. They already see if we had a good day or we had a bad day. And they truly are the ones that really care, besides the parents maybe. And I think this is really important because it helps us manage our emotions too. Yeah, to seek these deep relationships, not just superficial, and not simply having a chit chat or a small talk. So I think, yes, I agree with the statement. True friends really care how our day was, and I think that's also what we should seek in a relationship. That's also what we should provide. I think that, that's all.
Thank you. Congrats, Theo. Thank you for your powerful message that true friends are there, listen to us, and yeah, they notice certain times when we are in a great mood or in not such a great mood, even without asking for us telling them. I think we are close to the end.
Maybe one speech.
Yeah, but then we risk to kick that person out before the past, so maybe not. Okay, we can have one more. The next one is a member, so we can kick him out of the stage. So let's invite in front George. Really quick, one number you like? One, okay. A true friend is someone who knows all your stories and still loves you or appreciates you, let's say. So a true friend is someone who knows all your stories and still likes you, loves you, appreciates you. 20 seconds, you know the words.
What is a friend? Whom do you call friend? Maybe a person who understands you, maybe a person who cares about you, maybe a person who knows everything about you. In this case, my best friend is the one single person that knows my dirtiest secrets, my funniest stories, and my most profound experiences. Even from an early age, we were like twins. Whatever I did, he did the same. Whatever he did or he speak, I did the same. Until one day, when he got a girlfriend. Her girlfriend was my arch enemy. Because every time I asked him out, she was like, "Come with me." But this time it's my turn. Why are you coming with me? George, see, you don't understand. Well, I'm busy right now. Busy with who? Her. Well, she's more than a friend. More than a friend. What could be greater than a friend? You will see when we have a girlfriend. So, I believe a great friend is someone who can share a sad story, funny story, and most importantly, a great friend is that one person who can really leave a girlfriend from time to time.
Thank for Georgia. So what have we learned from Georgia's speech is that you can be jealous and experience this feeling of jealousy even in non-romantic relationships. Let's call it like that. On the same web address as our li.do, you can go there and vote for your favorite speech for tonight, and at the end our Toastmaster will congratulate the winner. Without further ado, I would like to congratulate you all for your courage, and I will give control to our host, Alex.
I would like to congratulate every one of you for coming here and improvising. See, it's not that hard to taste the stage. Now, what does an improvised speech have in common with being somebody's friend? Both require presence, trust, and the courage to do it, even if you don't know what's coming next. Now it's time for the evaluation section to take place, because as you can see here, a friend in need is a friend indeed, and real friends help each other to grow. Our first speech evaluator, George Blaga, is ready to help Dan Florian to level up his game. Before he does, I'm going to tell you his answer to the question of the night. He said, I imagine a profound conversation and a long walk. I couldn't agree more. Now let's give it up for George Blaga.
A friend, a teacher, and a legendary sailor. This is what a mentor is, in the opinion and experience of Dan. And for me today, everything what I said, you Dan was today for me. A friend, a sailor, a legendary sailor, and a teacher. Because you brought us with you in this amazing quest and this amazing speech. And I enjoyed so much your speech. Congratulations on that. And I noticed a lot of things, but really 3 things stood out for me. Namely, this incredible analogy. When you use analogy in your speech, it's such a powerful object, such a powerful tool to clear up and to make us feel what you felt. That to create an atmosphere. And speaking of atmosphere, what greater thing can create an atmosphere than a great set of storytelling that we saw today from them. And my favorite was the vivid descriptions. Vivid and dynamic descriptions. Storm after storm, shipwreck. I was hooked and I was already there with you, and congratulations on that. The things that I believe we can improve on, there are only 2. First of all, I noticed that you used a lot of powerful pictures like shipwreck, storm after storm. And I noticed you did not clarify what those abstract things were really meant for you. And because of that, I felt that it was unclear for me what you're really talking about, because you had a powerful picture, powerful analogy, but you did not came with the clarify with what meant for you to shipwreck. What will happen with you? What I do recommend is when you have such an analogy, tell us the full story. Tell us, okay, here is the analogy, but here is what really happened with me, so that the analogy can back up your amazing story. The second thing that I believe we can work on is the stage time. I noticed that you stood in this neutral position, even if you shared with us a lot of dynamic description. Your ship was hit by wave after wave, storms, shipwreck, and you stood in one position. And because of that, you told us one thing, but I saw a different thing. I felt a little bit more confused. And what I recommend to you is to level up your body language and your stage time. You can split up the stage in 2 parts to create a dynamic way Here is the analogy, the shipwreck and the storm. Here is the real story what happened. And you can create a dynamic connection between them. To wrap things up, I really congratulate you on your vivid descriptions, your beautiful analogy, and your storytelling skills. And you may work on your clarity and your stage time. And if you do that, my friend, the sun will rise even higher in your next Toastmaster journey. Thank you.
Alright, thank you so much, George. That's why I like this section, because there's always something to learn. And the best way to do it is to pay attention to all these suggestions that the speakers receive. Now we still have one more evaluator, and his answer to the question of the night was Naruto Uzumaki. He once said, "The pain of being alone is completely out of this world." Isn't it? Indeed it is. That's why it's so important to have real friends. I see Andy is ready to come on the stage. Therefore, in a big round of applause, Adrian, Aaron.
Is there any connection between bravery and the Big Bang? Martin's objective was to use effective visual aids to support the idea that bravery leads to growth and expansion. He achieved his goal. I'll share 2 things he did great, how he can improve upon those, and then one last bonus, because we're friends. It is great that Martin did not have too many slides. This, in effect, helped me to not be distracted and stay focused on his message. His first slide had the title of the speech. The impact this had on me was to ask myself, why though? We just heard the title. My suggestion for more clarity is to begin with the most important point of the speech. Children are brave. Or the universe itself. Well, having these words as a visual aid in the beginning of the speech and then returning to them in the conclusion, that's something you want for your structure. It is great, now to the next point, it is great how Martin used a video as a visual aid. It really caught my eye, and I was waiting to hear what Martin had to say about it. Martin said, and I quote, "There was this explosion, this powerful explosion," end quote. And this was like stating the obvious. My suggestion is to play more with it and say something like, "I see a lot of bravery in this explosion." And then the image of a child could appear. Why not? That's impactful. Now for the bonus idea. I read this in the Toastmasters magazine. The most prominent visual aid in your speech is you. How the speaker chooses to dress up for the occasion is the first visual aid. A rule of thumb is that if you know how your audience will, what your audience will wear, as the speaker, it is great to do a bit more than your audience. So for example, if your audience is wearing casual, you will go for business casual. Congrats, Martin. Congrats for not having too many slides. That was helpful. Do start with your main point. You had a catchy video. Tie it to bigger words, more exciting words. The bonus, dressing up for the occasion, and I'm really looking forward for your next speech. Thank you.
As you can see, we had the speech evaluators come to this stage. Now it's the turn for the technical ones to come and help us. The next one is the grammarian. Julia looks more than ready to help us with grammar, so let's welcome Julia in a big round of applause.
Thank you, Alex. I would like to start my report by congratulating the speakers, who have used the word of the evening. And those are Adrian Sălășan, thank you very much for using the word, Silviu, Paula, Petronella, and Doru. Congratulations for using the word. Now I will continue my report by pointing out one creative expression and one error, of course well relevant, per speaker. We'll start out with Răzvan Farkas, our president. This meeting that you're going to see unfold in front of you, that is a very beautiful creative expression. And at some point you said, how did you find about us? I would suggest, how did you find out about us? Alex Roman, our Toastmasters, you beautifully used a metaphor about some people being snakes. And you said, make sure you don't get bitten. That was a very creative way of putting it. And you said that Răzvan was waiting impatiently to go on the stage. The correct form is impatient. Răzvan Farkas, also the general evaluator. You said evaluating the evaluations. I appreciate that correction in what the general evaluator does. And you said that 1 minute goes out fast. I would suggest 1 minute goes by fast. Alex Cezar, the A counter. Avoiding unnecessary sounds that may wither your speeches. That's very beautifully said. And at some point you said tus, and the correct pronunciation is tas. Lucian Podereu, the timer. Clear instructions and role presentation. I didn't find any particular creative expressions, but it was a fluid presentation. And we did not push out people from the stage. We gently signaled to them that it's time to go back to their seats. Dan Florea, the first speaker for today. What a rich speech in creative expressions and a beautiful start to a speech. To leave the safety of the harbor and then venture out into the open ocean. Beautiful. And congratulations, from my point of view, it was a grammatically flawless speech. Marta Furdek, the second speaker, you have these words like mind-boggling, insidious, soulless. You re-engaged my attention by using these stronger words. So I congratulate you for that. And you said at some point, can't go anymore out, can't go out anymore. Adrian Sălășan, our table topics master, you called the timer our friend, I like that. And you said, felicitări, at some point, this is the English meeting. Silviu, the first speaker in the table topics section, the hunter-gatherers will reminisce about. That was beautifully said, there you go. And I didn't see any errors. Paula, I like how you called your friends from high school testmate. And you said at some point, got well along with. Petronella, I didn't note any, Petronella, there you go. I didn't note any particular errors. But I like how you called friends cheerleaders. Doru, I didn't note any particular creative expressions nor errors. So I congratulate you for that. Theo, the same, congratulations. Whenever we don't have creative expressions nor errors, I congratulate people because you have a fluent speech and that's good. Georgia. Same. Nothing particularly creative nor grammatically incorrect. And then Aaron, very fluent, clear speech. I didn't note any creative expressions or grammatical errors. And George Blaga, as speech evaluator this time, you said you brought us on this quest. That was beautifully said. And you said, you done was today for me that. You done work for me that. That was my reward. Thank you very much for your attention, and I wish you all a good night.
Thank you, Julia. That was slick. Now it's time to find out the ums, all of them. And for that, Alex Cesar is ready to come on the stage. So let's welcome him with a big
I will start with our president of the last year. Răzvan Farkas, you used a pause, but only for letting people to put the phones on silence. So I want to congratulate you on this idea. Alex Roman, our Toastmasters, I believe your best friend tonight was actually her, because you have the record using 23 during the night, and 5 pounds, and a special congratulations for using the only pen. Julian, our Romanian, almost perfect, a single part, congratulations. Lucian Odere, 3 and 1 Dan Floria, our speaker, you haven't used any I want to congratulate you for that. Maybe at a certain moment too many, of course. But even during the short pauses, there was no fear, so that shows your mastery. Martin Kubek, our second speaker, you used 3 everything else was pretty fine. George Blaga, our first speech evaluator, you used 1 and basically doing your improvised speech was perfect, a perfect example for everyone here. Adrian Sarashan, 16 and 1 you know which was basically a filler unnecessary. Adrian Aron, 2 and 2 and for the speakers from the improvised speeches, usually we feel uncomfortable with pauses, so we need the feel, we need the, it seems like I don't have any longer time, so I just read them. Silvio 7, Paula 10, Petronella 8, Dog 9, Theo 11, and that's all. Thank you.
Great work, Alex. Congratulations. Does anybody know if we have any time left? What would we do if we wouldn't have the time left? Now he's ready to come onto the stage, so in a big round of applause, Luciano.
Thank you, Alex. Now it's my time to shine. I'm going to do it by throwing some random numbers at you. For the prepared speeches, each one had 7 minutes allocated. Dan Floria used 6 minutes and 19 seconds. Marco, 6 minutes and 15 seconds. Congratulations. For the improvised speeches, each one had 2 minutes allocated. Silvio, 2 minutes, 6 seconds. Paula, 2 minutes, 14 seconds. Petronella, 1 minute. Dole, 1 minute 47, Theo, 1 minute 58, George, 1 minute 44. The speech evaluators, George Blaga, 3 minutes 36, and Adriana Alon, 3 minutes 43. Both went a bit too much over, and Alex is already coming onto the stage. Prepare to gently kick you off. A counter, Alex Cesar, 2 minutes 14, Romania Milano, 4 minutes 44, and that's my report. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Luciano. It's good to know that we are on track. We still have one more evaluator, the general evaluator. please, in a big round of applause, Răzvan Farkas.
Thank you, Alex. So I don't know if I'm getting old or soft on you guys, but I didn't really find any major mistakes. So congrats. It seems like you leveled up your skills. We started the meeting on time. The meeting room was well prepared. As you can see, we have the banners, we have our well-beloved flag. There were no annoying interruptions, so congratulations and thank you to the public. Now, Răzvan, as the president, you set the mission, you welcome people, it was more welcome, congratulations. Toastmasters performance, Alex. At the start of the meeting, you kept playing with the pointer and moved it from one hand to another with this board in hand. And I think that can distract people from what's actually happening on the stage. So maybe next time try to say to yourself, this hand is for the pointer and this hand is for my notes. And I think we're going to be fine. I love your transitions and the chosen topic and how you introduced everyone as a friend or you. My English today. How you introduced them using the subject of the evening. Other than that, congrats on your first time being the Toastmaster. Our table topics master, Adrian Sălășan. You sold the section really well at the start of the pause. You had good energy. You said at some point we aim for 2-minute speeches, implying and telling people that they can do less. So congrats on that. You explained the rule clear 2 times. I have 2 recommendations for you. Introducing people on stage. I think that before saying their name, you should always have some sort of form of introduction, like with a big round of applause, with big energy, with smiles, with something, because the first 2 or 3 speakers, the introduction was a bit anticlimactic, because you said their name and people waited around 2 seconds, 3 seconds before applauding and realizing that the person is actually coming on stage. And regarding the time of the section, I think that you didn't have time there at the last speaker because George started his impromptu speech at 2015 when the section should have ended. I think that time is best used to remember the names of the people here in the room that participated in the impromptu speech section so people know who they want to vote with. Other than that, congratulations. Our first speech evaluator, George, congratulations, you opened with a remark. It shows that you actively listen. You had clear positive and improvements and clear steps for actively improving the speech. Like you didn't just say the thing that you should improve, you also came with the recommendation and how should he do it. Congrats on that. I think this was a textbook contest evaluation. Adriana Ron, also a textbook evaluation. I kept looking for things to tell you guys to improve, but honestly, they were really good evaluations. You had good posture, good start. You told us about his objectives and that he accomplished them. You had great suggestions followed by actionable tips. So, congratulations. Now, the technical evaluators. You all had great role presentations, positive, with real life, mentioning the real life benefits of your roles. So congrats on that. Our first technical evaluator, Alexandru Cezar, you had a clear and concise report. So I think right now the next level for you is maybe try in the future to give a recommendation on how someone in the meeting can improve their fluency. So they can reduce their next time. Or maybe a general rule for everyone. Let's see how that works out. Yulia Iogan, our grammarian. I like that when you talk about mistakes, you always came with your own suggestions. Congratulations on that. And I think you were the fastest grammarian in the West. That's a really good achievement. Lucian Podereu, our timer, simple and clear report. To improve, I think that you should say what went wrong and why did we go late. Maybe also tell us how can we fix that in the future. because right now I think we're running 5 minutes late. Our prepared speech is done. Congratulations. I really love the way your metaphor went on stage. I think it was a really good one. What I didn't understand, I think that you were a bit stiff on the stage at the start. That's how I felt. Maybe you should watch the video and see why. Maybe you figure something out. Our second speaker, Marton, congratulations, you were really natural on stage. I think that we shouldn't come here in front at Toastmasters, especially as speakers or everything else in shorts. So maybe next time take account of that, because it shows respect to the people here in the room that didn't come in shorts. Other than that, congratulations, I really liked your speech. Now, for everyone else that impromptu speeches, I have some feedback we can hear. If you want to hear it, you can come to me at the end of the meeting and we can talk about that. Thank you very much. I hope you have a nice evening.
Thank you very much, Răzvan. Now it's time to find out who's the winner of the impromptu speeches section. So please, let's make some noise for the winner. Well, congratulations. Twice in a row. How do you feel on the stage?
Nervous, because I don't feel like I have such a good command in English, and the words keep escaping me, and yeah, I struggle a bit.
Okay.
But thank you.
And the second question, how would you encourage those from the public that did not want to come to this stage to talk with us?
I'm going to say the same thing I said last time. Just do it. Do not think too much about it. Do not worry about what will go wrong. Just have like 5 seconds of believing in yourself and go to the I forgot the title, the toast job yeah. Go to that person that is responsible with writing your names on that list and tell them your name, and then you won't be able to step back. That's it.
Congratulations, Paul. Alright, so before I'm going to have a seat, I would like to share with you a little analogy, which is this one. These 3 sticks represent unity. For example, it's easier to break a stick, depending on how thick it will be, if you hold it in your hand. Now, if you will try to break 2 sticks that are interwoven together, it's a lot harder. But if there are 3 sticks or more, I guarantee that it's almost impossible to do it. So that's the message that I would like to leave you with. Together, we are way stronger than on our own. This being said, my job is done for now, so I hope you found out some valuable information that will help you in your life. And it was my pleasure to be in this role for the first time, and now it's important to welcome our president for the last time, Răzvan.
Thank you very much, Alexi. Before we move on with the new member induction, I want you guys, if you felt welcomed and if you felt among friends today, to give a big round of applause to Alex and Răzvan for organizing this meeting, because being in team with Alex and knowing how stressed out he was a week and something ago, he really deserves a big round of applause.